What's going on, everybody? Red Velvet is back in the studio, and today I have a very special guest joining us remotely. The champ is here. We have state champion Aubrey Bartkowiak joining us remotely. How are we doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm excited. Like I stated before, you're the first high school athlete I've interviewed, so a little nervous. I'm nervous talking to a champion.
I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, you're fine. I've never talked to a champion before, so I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me. Mm-hmm. And for those who don't know, Aubrey is the IHSAA girls wrestling 235-pound state champion. That is awesome. So how does that feel? How does that feel being a champion?
It feels kind of surreal. You know, I've placed before at state, and you know, I won nationals, and I placed at Fargo, and this has been kind of like a goal that, you know, it's reachable. Mm-hmm. It's just felt like really surreal that it's, you know, that I accomplished it. But I think it being my senior year and not having as much pressure that has like previously been on me before, or like a target, as my coach likes to say, I didn't feel it at all this year, and I was just ready. And every time somebody asked me, like, you know, what's your mindset for this year? And I was like, I just have a mission. Like, I'm on a mission to win that state title. So, like, you know,
that's awesome. And we're going to get into that. But, you know, what's some background information on Aubrey? What got you into wrestling?
I used to be really big. I used to weigh like mid 300 pounds. Okay. And our previous coach, Coach Branstetter, he was our gym teacher. And one day after gym, I was like, Coach B, I want to play a sport. Like, I want to get healthy. I don't know what to do. I don't want to play basketball. You know, I'm like 6'1". I don't want to play basketball. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. Not to dog on it, you know, for the people that love it, but I can't stand it. And he was like, why don't you come out and try wrestling? And I was like, you know, I don't know anything about it. The only thing I've seen is, you know, the WWE, like John Cena, like that's the first thing that comes to your head when you think of wrestling. Yeah, and absolutely. I'm like, I don't know if I really want to do that or not. Like, that seems scary. And I remember seeing all the stuff that was up in his, you know, coach's office or his classroom, because he was the wrestling coach. And it did seem a little intimidating. And I remember we have like a girl, like wrestler, that had wrestled previously, Shay Metter. And I was like, well, if she can do it, then I could do it. And so I went out there, and let me just tell you, when I first stepped into that wrestling mat and into that wrestling room, I was petrified. I was so scared. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what was happening. I literally cried my first day of practice because I didn't know what was happening. I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. This is terrifying. Like, how do you do this? How do people do this? Like, the coach is screaming, like everybody's running. It was just like all, like, every emotion that you could possibly feel. That's how I felt that day. And I was like, okay, need to calm down. And Josh, his daughter, Jocelyn, she was like, here, like, let me, like, come into the weight room with us every morning. Like, we'll help you weight lift, and you can start running, so you can start, like, cutting the weight. And I was like, okay. So I'd go and lift with them every morning, and I slowly started cutting the weight. And it kind of just went from there. I just went and lifted every morning with the Barnetts, and I still do that now. And that was kind of it after that.
Now, how old were you when you got into wrestling? Was that middle school? Oh, you were a freshman? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And but you placed as a freshman, didn't you?
I did. I got second.
Oh my goodness. Like, so you were just,
I didn't know what I was doing. I did not know what I was doing. And let me just tell you, when I was a freshman compared to now, girls wrestling has just changed so much since then. Like, you know, 4 years, 3 years, it's changed so much since then. Like, completely different. The girls, the athleticism, it's all different. And I'm very grateful that I've been able to see it and, like, you know, watch it grow and see how different it is compared to the boys, because, like, you know, it's very different.
Right.
Very different.
Right. Well, and it's cool because in your 4 years, you've watched it become like an emerging sport, or maybe even before that, like a there's a girls wrestling team to
Yeah,
emerging
yeah.
sport to now it's sanctioned. And how does that feel being almost a pioneer in this transition of that phase?
You know, once I like realized like, hey, I might actually kind of be good at this, which I didn't realize when I got to the state finals my freshman year. I didn't even know I was in the finals. I I was standing there and there's smoke machines going up and there's just smoke going, and then they start announcing my name and I have no accolades for them to call. They're like, Aubrey Bartkowiak with in drama club. That's the only thing that they had to announce. I
Yeah.
didn't even know I was in the finals. And then once I was standing there with Josh, I was like, hey, this might actually be serious. This might actually be something that I need to take like for real. But like knowing that I've helped grow the sport and the girls around me that I know have helped grow the sport, it's it's I love it. I love being able to be a role model for these younger girls and boys, honestly, because they look up to me the exact same because I'm strong.
Yeah.
So for them to be able to look up to me, it just makes me want to be a better person and a better wrestler.
Mm-hmm. And that's the cool thing is you have accomplished a lot in your 4 years, but you're humble about it. I mean, first time in school history, 4-time state qualifier. That's awesome. And like, so I've just learned about Attica this year because Derek Dean, he's one of my good friends now. And I've been Attica maybe 5 times in my life. And Boudreaux's, I've been there 3 out of the 5. Really good place to eat. But it's just, I'm venturing out to these other schools now, and it's awesome to learn about that. And he told me, he goes, yeah, we got a pretty good wrestler. And I'm like, what? Because I'm the WWE style. I mean, I work for like 4 or 5 promotions throughout the area. So when people say wrestling, it's who's getting hit with a chair. So it takes me a minute to get, this is the grappling. Okay.
Yeah.
So I started doing a little research, and my son wrestled, but I'm like the dad that's like, yay, wrestling, because I have no idea what's going on. And I'm just cheering like a crazy person until somebody gets pinned. That's the only way I know somebody wins.
That's how my mom was.
So what the road to high school to get to this state championship now, to being a champion, what kind of battles did you have to go through? I mean, freshman year, you took second place, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Did you think, that was easy? Like I've already made it to the big dance 6 months in.
I thought it was going to be an easy ride my sophomore and junior year.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, was I wrong. Because it's the complete opposite. I've had to train even harder each year. That and I did have a target on my back, as I was telling you before.
Yeah.
You play second as a freshman. All these girls want to beat you. They make it their goal to try to beat you. And you have to come back each year to prove yourself. And I think mentally what was so challenging to me is proving to myself that I could come back and do that again. And I think that's truly why I was able to do it this year when I didn't feel any of the pressure that I felt the previous years.
Absolutely. Getting to, I mean, I don't want to fast forward too much to this year because I'm excited to talk about this year. So sophomore year, where'd you place?
I got 5th.
5th. Okay. So was it like, I just ate some humble pie here, or?
Yeah. Well, okay. So the girl that I lost to, that's when we got sanctioned.
Okay.
And that's when the weight classes changed. Correct. I might be wrong, because I remember I was at track practice. We got sanctioned that year, my track season. So the weight classes were changing a little bit. And it was this girl that had wrestled 195 the previous year, which was my freshman year. And then the weight classes changed to 190. And she didn't want to lose that 5 pounds. So she just bumped up to heavyweight. And she was the state champion all 3 years she wrestled 195.
Okay.
So she came through the heavyweight weight class and kicked everybody's butt, basically. Yeah. And I was one of those people, and she was my second match that I had, and she beat the crap out of me. So,
well, that that happens, but that helped motivate you, I feel like.
Yeah, it did. 1000% it did.
And then we get to your junior year. Where did you finish in junior year?
I got 3rd.
3rd, okay.
And I lost to the girl that I had in the finals this year.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because so their coach, Sarah, she's been on the podcast before and we're friends. She actually coached my son. So I have a little relationship with her, and I was learning about North Central as well. And when I made not brackets, I made graphics of all the state competitors that I talk about. And I was like, ooh, we could have a matchup here. And we get to the final two. And I was like, oh boy, we gotta fight. But now you entered your senior year.
Yeah.
How the process goes? Like, all right, we got the goal. The goal is I'm walking away in the top spot.
Mm-hmm.
What did you have to mentally prepare for way back in January? As soon as your junior season is over, we had to mentally prepare. I'm going to be on the top podium position. How'd you have to get your mindset like that?
It was really difficult. I'd say it was difficult, but it kind of, the passing of my friend Ray.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I'm okay with talking about it. I like bringing awareness to mental health, with everything that happened. And I think that kind of like pushed me, like motivated me completely. Mm-hmm. I knew that I wanted to prove myself to everybody because I know I'm good. I know, like, I'm not going to toot my own horn or anything because I'm not that type of person whatsoever. If anybody knows me, I don't like being in the spotlight. I hate it so much. And I absolutely hate it, especially because I used to be bigger and I hated everybody looking at me. And, but I really like being able to talk about him and being able to bring awareness to it. And also, like, I don't know, he kind of motivated me, I'd say. I knew that I could place first, and it was kind of just like the fact of me believing in myself and me believing that I'm the best in the state. I'm the best in this country. That's something that I have been told to go over in my head by my coaches and my mindset coach. And bringing gratitude to my coaches and just all of that is just something, I had to work on mindset, really.
Absolutely. So we get to, the WRC.
Mm-hmm.
Who took the top spot there?
I did.
How did that feel? I mean, so how many times did you win WRC?
3 times. I'd say 3. Yeah.
Okay. That's good. 75%. But then
we didn't have it my first year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Girls didn't have a conference.
Okay. Well, so 3 out of 3, you got 100%. That's good. So we're now in the tournament of your senior year. Can you walk us through that a little bit?
That's tricky. It was a lot of just believing in myself, I feel like, because before I would go into every single match thinking I was going to lose it,
Really?
Every single match. I used to walk into every single match that I was about to wrestle and be like, all right, she's going to pin me. She doesn't look good, but she's going to pin me. Like, she doesn't look stronger than me, but she's going to pin me. And again, on the mindset thing, you just can't mentally beat yourself before you even do it. And that's what I was doing. And I did that my entire high school career. And I think this year, and with the help of Coach Belmo and the help of my college coach, and he's my mindset coach as well, they both helped me a lot to just knock that out of my head and, repeat to myself, like, hey, you've got this. You can do it. You're the best in the state. You're the best in this country. Go show them what you can do. Stop beating yourself up before you even get out on the mat and do it.
Yeah.
And
I think that's awesome. You figured that out at 17, 18 years old. It took me forever. I'm 36 now, and I think it took me 35 and a half years to figure out that. And I still battle with it. Am I doing the right thing? This, that, and the other. And then I say some explicit words to myself because that's how I motivate myself, because I'm a crazy person.
I kind of do that as well sometimes. Just a little bit.
It's the wrestler. It's the wrestler in us. Yeah. But so we get to the state finals. Yeah. And how does the state finals work? I've yet to go. I know I'm bad. I haven't been yet, but do they do like a parade of champions?
We did.
Oh, yeah. So everybody gets acknowledged and honored.
Yeah. You go by school, and then they have the So it's kind of like the athletes here, and then they have the coaches behind you, and you walk out and they call your name, and then you kind of all like snake around the mat, and then you like all line up, and then
Okay. That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And so then you have the 16. You got the 16 best wrestlers in the state right there. How many matches do you have to win to get to, I guess, 8? Is it 8 matches?
For
My math's not that good. How many matches do you have to win to get to the top 2, the championship round?
3, and then
You only 3? Okay.
the last one will be your 4th match of that day. Yeah.
Okay. So you're in the top 16.
Mm-hmm.
How was the competition on the way to that championship match?
So the way they set it up is they give you I got first in my regional. So then they gave me a girl from another regional that got 4th.
Okay.
And then it was like that every like back and forth because they letter it. So it's A, B, C, and I think there's a D. So I think there's 4. Yeah, there's 4 regionals. So it's A, B, C, and D. And I think I was A1. And then the girl that I was wrestling was like C4 or something like that.
Okay.
And so I don't want to be rude or anything, but obviously my first match wasn't that difficult at all because of, just the levity of how it was. My second match wasn't necessarily hard either. It was, I think, a girl that got 3rd at her regional or something like that. I mean, all these girls, like my coach says to me, they're all good. Like,
absolutely.
They have to be good to get there, even if you don't think they are. But it's just the levels that I'm like, up here and they're here.
Right.
And so, it was kind of, my first 2 wasn't that bad. It wasn't bad at all. My semifinal match, which was the match determining if I'd get into the finals or not, that's where I lost last year.
Okay.
And I was telling Josh, which is my coach, I was telling him it was like before I was going out there to wrestle, I said, I'm not losing this. I was so tired. I was sitting down because we have like an hour in between before we go and wrestle again. And I'm a heavyweight, so I have to wait for all the lighter weights to go. And then I'm the last one. And I was laying down and I like shoot up because I was falling asleep. And I'm like, I need to stand up and start walking. I'm going to fall asleep. Like, I can't do this. I'm not losing again. I'm not losing this match. I'm getting into the finals. And Josh was like, all right, then get up, start moving. Like, get up.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And so I start getting up and walking around and I'm like, I'm tired. I'm, really freaking tired. And so I go out there and I wrestle, and I wouldn't say that I wrestled like crap, but I would say that I was tired. I was. And that match, I almost got pinned in it, but I told Josh, I was like, I'm not losing this. And I don't know if you've seen any videos of it, but I yelled at him after. Like, I was yelling at him after I pinned the girl, and I was like, I told you, I told you, I did not lose. I am not losing that.
Right.
Like, I was screaming at him, and the ref was like, hey, get over here. And he was like, knock it off. And I was like, you're right. Got to calm down.
Yep.
But that one, I would say it was my personal fault. Like, that girl is good. She's not bad at all. But it was just the levels. And I feel like I have done more off season than the 3 girls have that I had before.
Right.
And, it wasn't horrible, but it also wasn't like, a slice of pie.
Right.
My finals match was, it was something.
Pretty tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and walk us through it, because it seemed like it was the 3rd period, right?
Yes.
When the tide turned and you were down in points.
Yes.
And then took over.
Okay, so I was chatting it up with the ref before we wrestled. And which, if you know me, I love to yap. I'm a yapper. I talk all the time. I don't care. I'll talk to anybody and everybody. And I'm a loud person. But I was talking to him, and we had to wait for the 190s to get announced on the podium before we could like start our match. Well,
Okay.
we put our ankle bands on, and the ref looks at me after, and he goes, this is the match I've been waiting for all day. And I was like, oh, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? And I was like, oh, really? And he goes, yeah, I'm excited. Let's get to it. And I was like, right. So, we start hand fighting, and like, I don't know. It was just a blur, honestly. I'm not going to lie. It felt like a blur. And I knew that I needed to, like, I had to watch what I was doing, because I had wrestled her over the summer, and I think we wrestled 3 times. And the first time, Josh was like, you can get your get back. Like, wrestle her for real and get your get back. And so I wrestled her for real, and I pinned her. My second time I wrestled her, I had been working with my club coach, and he was coaching me, like, in the coaching corner. And he was like, okay, Aubrey, you wrestled her for real. You got your get back. Now I want you to try these new moves. And I was like, try these new moves? I just learned them a week ago. What are you talking about? And he was like, I want you to try them. I don't care. It's off season. It's during the summer. It doesn't count towards your record whatsoever.
Right.
And I was like, okay. So I lost that match because I was trying stuff that I was just pulling out of my butt, because it was stuff that I learned a week ago, which I'm not upset about it at all, because mistakes are proof that you're trying.
Absolutely.
And the third time, I had a little too much energy drinks, and I had to poop. So she was in the middle of like, we were wrestling, and I was like, you know what? I'm about to poop my pants on the mat. I'm not gonna do that. So like, she got a takedown, and she was pinning me, and I was like, girl, walk to my head so you can pin me so I can go use the bathroom. Like, she was in the middle of pinning me, and I was like, girl, walk to my head, go this way so you can pin me. And then I ran off to the bathroom. And so, like, all that was kind of replaying in my head. And I had to watch what I was doing, because I knew that she knew how I wrestled, and I know how she wrestles. And I had to be smart about it. And I tried to run something, and it didn't work. And then she got to choose for the second period. And I think she chose top.
Okay.
Yeah, she chose top. And I get up, and she dives at my legs as soon as I go up. And I'm like, holy, I was not expecting that. And so, like, I stood up, and she just dove for my legs. And I was like, okay, like, kudos to you. And so we were wrestling after that. And then it gets to the third period, and Coach Belmo looks at me. He goes, okay, Aubrey, scores 10-3. You either get neutral or you're going on top. Which one do you not want? Because you're not going on bottom. And I was like, well, considering the fact that I'm down 10-3, and we have like 2 minutes left, I'm not going neutral. So I picked top. And normally I'm pretty good at breaking girls down and pinning them from a breakdown. So I was like, you know what? I think I can do it. And so I start trying to run halves, and she's defending them. So I'm like, holy crap, what am I going to do? I can't turn her in my power half that I normally do. And I get what's called a knuckle under, which is where you grab the forearm and you're pulling it in like that. And so I start pulling it in, and then I get this vivid memory of Coach Belmo saying, okay, you can get a little power half in, even if it's not even there. But if you just slide your arm through there, which this clip is everywhere, I feel like. And it's me doing that, and then me slowly putting my arm up and putting it on top of her head and then pinning her. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that just worked. I can't believe that just worked. I did it. That was what I was repeating the entire time, was I just did that. I did it. I finally reached my goal that I have been trying to reach since my freshman year, the same exact spot. I did it. And I wanted to run over to Josh before anything. As soon as he called the pin, I wanted to run over there. But we had to get our hand raised and take off our ankle bands and go shake the coach's hand. So I tried to do that, and I like get there and I stop dead in my tracks, and then like you see, like I don't know if you've seen the video or not, but I get there and I stop dead in my tracks and I run back,
Yep.
take my thing off, get my arm raised, go over there, and I jump into Josh's arms.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my gosh, the only thing I was repeating the entire time was, I just did that. I did it. I finally did it.
Yeah.
Like, that was all I was repeating the entire night. Like, even when my friends were asking me, like, Aubrey, how do you feel being a state champ? And I was like, I did it. I did it. I finally did it.
Yeah, you set that goal and you accomplished it. And that's what I saw the live stream. I think Indiana Girls Wrestling was live streaming that.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that clip. And as soon as you put it, you jumped up so excited and you like beelined it.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, wait, there's rules I got to follow here. And it was just the pure joy on your face was awesome to see. It was so cool to see from an outsider's perspective. It's like that girl's had a goal for a long time and she finally did it. And it was cool to see. So I commend you for that. And when we were trying to set this interview up, you said, well, I still have wrestling. So wrestling's not done. Even though you're state champ, wrestling is not done. Yeah. What's going on now?
I have, what did I say? I have Indy Nationals, and then I have 1A2A, and then 1A2A state, and then ISWA state, and then Iowa Nationals, and then Fargo.
So, and Fargo, that's best of the best, isn't it, around the country?
Yeah, that's for freestyle, though.
Okay, freestyle. I'm still learning all those different styles. So, but Fargo, when is Fargo?
I think last year it was in July. Yeah, I think it was in July. Oh, and I also might wrestle for Team Indiana again for the national team. So hopefully I can do that again. I did that last year.
You did that?
Yeah, I did that last year.
That's awesome. Like, you are a very decorated wrestler. That is so cool.
Thank you.
And also, you haven't mentioned you're wrestling in college.
I am.
Go ahead and tell us about that.
I committed to Point Park University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It is a D2 school. And yeah, I fell in love with the school. I started talking to the coach because Heather Kroll, which is another decorated wrestler from Indiana who graduated last year, her dad coached me at Fargo, and he referred me to my college coach, and he was like, dude, you need to talk to this girl. Like, she is somebody that you want on your team. Because I'm the type of person that's like, I have two modes when I'm wrestling. Either I'm locked in and I'm listening to like, dad rock music, or I'm singing and dancing and messing around with anybody and everybody that I can.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When you say dad rock, what are you referring to?
Well, like, I don't know, like Slipknot and Alice in Chains and
so my generation stuff.
Legit basically. Dad rock. Okay. Yeah, basically.
I'm just glad you didn't say oldies. We're listening to that oldies rock and roll. Make me feel really old, but that's awesome. So, and I do have, one other question.
Yeah.
Advice for younger wrestlers or wrestlers interested in possibly wrestling. What advice would you give these young athletes?
Don't give up. When you feel like giving up, don't do it. You need to push yourself until you absolutely know that there's nothing left in the tank. Because, like I was almost pinned. I was if I put my other shoulder down, I was going to be pinned. And there's been times before where I just wanted to give up and I didn't want to do it anymore. But you need to find a good support system. You need to find people that care, and you need to find something that motivates you. And once you do all that, you'll be fine. You have to keep going even when you feel like you want to give up.
That's fantastic advice. Like, that's awesome. So tomorrow. So thank you. I'm going to drop this off real quick. At this time, I want to thank our gold sponsors, Wabash Valley Plumbing, RJ's Formal Wear, Varsity House Outfitters, and Everhope Co. Also, I want to thank our subscribers for 99 cents per month. You can subscribe to the Dinerpod on Facebook for early access to podcasts like this one and all other cool stuff. So thank you, Aubrey. Take care, everybody. Keep pushing.